Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for being here at the concert in memory of Dr. Sandra Franks. My name is Paul Brandt. I was Rhodes College class of 2016, one of her students for all my 4 years at Rhodes. I'm just one example of the many students that she impacted and taught and mentored. And so I just am really happy to be here with all of you tonight to kick off this concert. We've got a lot of amazing performers tonight, and we're excited for a wonderful evening of music. To kick us off, we do have a video presentation with Stephen Carey on piano. He was a collaborator and great friend of Dr. Franks here at Germantown Pres and also at Opera Memphis. He could not be here tonight because he is performing with an opera, so he sent a video of him playing arrangement of Jesus Loves Me.
Good evening. Thank you all so much for being here. My name is Carol Blankenship, and Sandy was a wonderful colleague with me and the other music faculty at Rhodes College for more than a dozen years. And she was a devoted friend to me and to many of you, I know. Dr. Sandra Franks. She was a wonderful voice teacher and mentor to many students and so many of you here tonight. If you studied voice lessons with Dr. Franks, will you please stand up? Wow, great. Take that in. Yeah. Thank you all for being here. Sandra Franks loved her family. Every time I talked to Sandy, I heard about what Jonathan was doing and what her niece was doing, so many track meets, and the new baby, and she loved her family. I'm so pleased that Sandy's family is here tonight. Sandy loved her church family and the choirs here at Germantown Presbyterian Church. Our goal for this evening was to gather those who knew Sandy and loved Sandy. And I'm so grateful to all of those who are performing tonight. All the performers tonight were either Sandy's students or her dear friends. Celebrating with singing is the only way that I can think of to honor Sandy's memory. Thank you all so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Another of our goals tonight was to create a permanent remembrance of Sandy's legacy as a voice teacher. We want her to be remembered by the vocal community and by those who are associated with the National Association of Teachers of Singing. And you can read more about that in your program, and we will tell you more about that later in the evening. Thank you so much, and now I'll turn it over to the lovely women's chorus from Rhodes College.
If there is joy I'm Gerald Teachy. Many of you know me. I'm the director of music here at Germantown Presbyterian. Been here many years. And I wanted to give you a little history of Sandy's arrival in Memphis and how she got here. She was with us here as an active singer in the choir, soloist, and did so many things for me, assisted me as assistant conductor. Eventually, for the last 10, 12 years, she was children's choir's director as well. But Sandy, it's been 25 years, actually, that I've been knowing her. I first met Sandy when she was a doctoral student down at Ole Miss. And we're delighted to have Gene and Jerry Jordan here, who was the choral director down at Ole Miss. Jerry, where are you and Gene? Stand just a moment. Let us welcome you all. There they are in the back. They had this wonderful choral program at Ole Miss for so many years. And it was when we were establishing our voice practice here that I had gotten involved with Care of the Professional Voice with Dr. Neil Beckford, who is here as well tonight at the university. And then my wife, Jan, was a resident. When she started her practice, Dr. Bill Hinkle, who was Dean of Allied Health Sciences, came with us, and we had voice care associates along with Jan Petrie, MD, ear, nose, and throat. And it was then that we were going down to Ole Miss quite often and doing talks, workshops, and things. And they asked us to be adjunct faculty down there, which we did. And it was through that process that I met Sandy. And she said, will you do a project with me in your office and with your practice for my doctoral program? And we said, sure, if you'll come sing with me at the choir at Germantown Pres, we'll be happy to have you do a project. So she did. That's how we got started knowing each other. And that relationship has gone on all of these years. She was my right-hand person, and so many, many things. And I'm just delighted to see all of you here tonight to honor her memory. And I wanted to have several singers from our choir program. So I've got Althea and Christina will come and sing in a few moments an oratorio piece that Sandy has sung many times from the Messiah. We move things around with different singers. Karen Showalter Cooper will sing, and she was Sandy's very best friend and worked with her for years with children's choirs and so forth. Representing Opera Memphis, we're glad to have Keeley, who's going to sing with me here in just a moment, and Sergio, who are now guest artists here with Opera Memphis. And you heard Stephen play. Stephen was the artistic director and music director for many years and was at Opera Memphis and was, at that time, pianist here at the church. But we're so glad to have all of these people participate in this program. And you will later hear Lemmy Williams sing, and then you'll hear Marcus King and Sandy sing themselves. Both Lemmy and Marcus wanted to be here, but could not because of performances that they have with the Memphis Symphony. Carol alluded to the fact that we have Sandy's family here. Would you all stand? Woody, Jonathan, Sandy's mom, Betty, and Leah, all of you stand. This is Sandy's family. Woody, you don't have to stand. Woody has had some... But we're so glad that you all are here. And thank you. We appreciate so much all of you coming. And I have sung so many times with Sandy over the years. It's hundreds of times. Whenever we needed a concert for the ladies of the church or a Christmas concert, Sandy was my go-to person, always. She was always available. And one of the pieces we always sang was All I Ask of You. Keeley, would you sing that with me tonight?
Let daylight dry your tears. I'm here with you beside me to guard you and to safe, no one will find you. Your fears are far behind you.
All I want is freedom, a world with no one right, and you always beside me, to hold me and to hide me.
And say you'll share with me one love, one lifetime. Let me lead you from your solitude. Say you'll be with you, here beside you. Anywhere you go, let me go too. Christine, that's all I ask.
You'll share with me one love, one lifetime. Say the word and I will follow. Stay with me beside each morning. Say your love
You know I do love me. That's all I ask of love me. That's all I ask of
Just gonna move some of this real quick. I just want to say a couple words. When Dr. Blankenship asked me a little while ago if I would sing at this memorial service for Dr. Franks, I was really, really honored. I kind of ignored her at the funeral because I was crying so much and didn't talk to her, and I felt really bad about it. And I really wanted to perform this piece. This was the last piece Dr. Franks and I ever worked on together, and her words were, "Put it away and bring it back in a couple years." And so I did. And everyone seemed to like it the last time I did it. And so I really hope that I do her memory proud and that everyone feels a sense of peace from this piece that I'm about to sing.
My name is Caroline Marath. I was a student of Dr. Frank's for all 4 years of my high school career, and now I'm pursuing my degree in vocal performance and music theater, none of which would have been possible without Dr. Frank's mentorship and guidance. So I will let the poetry speak for itself in this one. Last night the rain spoke to me, softly saying, "What joy to come falling down from the brisk cloud, to be happy again in a new way on the earth." That's what it said as it dropped, smelling of fire and vanished like a dream of the ocean into the branches and the grass below. Then it was over, the sky cleared. I was standing under a tree. The tree was a tree with happy leaves, and I was myself. And there were stars in the sky that were roses themselves. At the moment, at which moment my right hand was holding my left hand, which was holding the tree, which was filled with stars. And the soft rain, imagine
cuando fueras a beber. Del cabello más sutil que tienes en tu trenzada, pedía ser una cadena para traerte a mi lado.
Not yet.
30 years ago. I don't, is this mic on? Ruined my timing. Sandy, are you here? Over 30 years ago, I met a little Spitfire soprano from North Mississippi, a place this New Orleans girl had never been. But I was intrigued. She had class. She was always dressed to the nines. I was like in sweatpants, and she was in designer shoes. We were double cast in the opera Hansel and Gretel. That means she was in one cast, I was in another cast. I always joke and say I was in the Teutonic cast. But and Sandy was in all the rehearsals with me until she wasn't. And LSU is a pretty big school, and sometimes she was in her undergraduate program, and sometimes undergraduates would withdraw. But Sandy wasn't that kind of person. I knew it was something. And then, lo and behold, as God would have it, somehow I landed in Memphis, Tennessee. And Gerald Tichy recruited me to come and sing in the GPC choir, and I walked into choir rehearsal one night, and I heard, "Karen Showalter, what are you doing here?" I was like, "Sandy Franks, what are you doing here?" And I come to find out that she had withdrawn from LSU because she needed to go home and be with her family. She had lost her father. But that's the kind of person Sandy was. She was stoic. She was elegant. She was classy. You never knew that she was dealing with difficulty. Never. And around this time every year, you might be wondering about this. No, I'm not singing a selection from La Traviata. No one wants to hear that. Although Flora Bervois is an old friend of mine. Around this time every year, Sandy and I would get together for our official musical planning meeting. And we would meet at places like Southern Social, and we would have a Bellini. After all, he's a wonderful bel canto composer. Love you, babe. And we would prepare ourselves with our Bellinis for the spring musical at GPC. Sandy was the choir director, and I was her assistant. I would oftentimes be in charge of things like props and sound effects. Sandy was a redhead. I will take to my grave the look I got from her when we did a musical called In the Big Inning, and one of the kids was playing baseball and was supposed to have broken a window, and the sound effect came after a very pregnant pause. Like everybody stopped, Sandy glared at me, and I pushed the button, and the glass broke. Dr. Sandra Franks was an incredible teacher, not just a teacher of singing, a teacher of life, a teacher of class, a teacher of compassion. So, as you can tell, I like to talk a lot. So I chose something short and sweet like her, with bubbles like her. Bel Piacere by Handel. It speaks to there is something greater than outward beauty, which she certainly possessed. What is greater than outward beauty? Fidel cor, a true heart. a loyal heart. And that is my best friend. I need to have a glass in my hand. That's for her, but I always finished hers.
Hello, I was a student of Dr. Franks, and not just Dr. Franks, but also her husband, Mr. Whited. Mr. Whited taught me all 4 years of high school, and Dr. Franks got a hold of me the last two, and she really provided me with so much educational, ground base, and prepared me not just as a musician, but as a human being, and I miss her greatly. And this piece, Allerzählen, translates to All Souls Day. So, thank you.
Good evening. I'm Jeff Williams. I am the Tennessee chapter president of NATS. I always look forward to this time of year because it was time that I would get to see Sandy, who was the Memphis chapter president of NATS at the time of her passing. So, Sandy.
Tarest thou now, O soul? Walk out with me toward the unknown region, where neither ground is for the feet, nor any path to follow. No map there, nor guide, nor voice sounding, nor touch of human hand, nor face with blooming flesh, nor lips, nor eyes are in that land. I know it not, O soul, nor dost thou. All is a blank before us. All waits undreamed of in that region, that inaccessible land, till when the tides loosen all but the ties eternal, time and space, or darkness, gravitation, sense, nor any bounds bound us. Then we must walk. We float in time and space. O soul, prepare for them. Equal, equipped, and last. O joy, O fruit of all. Then to fulfill, then to fulfill.
Hi, good evening. My name is Camelia Dillard. I was a student of Dr. Sandra Franks during my high school years, and she was such a wonderful teacher. I met her through Opera Memphis, and without her, I would not have been able to get accepted into Vanderbilt University's Blair School of Music, and for whom I've had amazing musical opportunities. And so I thank you for this opportunity. And today, my collaborator, Jeff Burnham, and I are going to be performing Apparition by Debussy, followed by Ein Traum by Grieg. Thank you.
Ganz in Seligkeit. Schau noch, als einser Traum, begab es sich in Wirklichkeit. Es war am grünen Waldesraum, es war zur warmen Frühlingszeit. Der Waldbach scholl, die Knosse sprang, Geläute scholl vom Dorfe her. Ich hielt dich fest, ich hielt dich lang und lasse dich noch nimmer mehr. Nimmer mehr, nimmer mehr. O Frühlingsgrüner Waldesraum, du lebst in mir doch alle Zeit. Dort war die Wirklichkeit zum Traum, dort war der Traum zur Wirklichkeit.
As we're setting up the next video, just wanted to correct an omission in the program. That performing with Liddy with Limmy in the video is Alex Binford on piano, who you've seen perform tonight, but now he's in video form.
As the road singers take their place, I'd like to say a few things. I want to remind you that tonight we are creating this remembrance of Sandy in several ways, through music and through this creation of an award. Sandy was, as you know by now, a leader in the National Association of Teachers of Singing, especially in the Memphis chapter. She served as the Memphis chapter president of NATS for over 7 years. And with the Sandra Franks Award for an outstanding high school singer, we hope to raise $25,000 to make this award last for years to come. And so that at every regional audition, the singers who come through that audition will hear her name and know of her enormous impact. And Paul will tell you more about that effort in just a minute. I want to say a few thank yous before we hear our last few things that we're going to present tonight. I want to say thank you to Sandy for giving us so much love for this music during her too short of life. I want to say thank you to Sandy's family for supporting this event and all the things that we're doing here tonight. Big thank yous to Gerald Teachy, Alex Benford, David Bradford, Laurie Henderson, and Will Jones at Germantown Presbyterian Church. Your partnership for this event is so important. I thank you so much. David Bradford made these videos possible, and the live stream of this gala is made possible by his crew, and we so appreciate it. Also, this concert could not have happened without our generous collaborative artists, Alex Benford, Tom Bryant, and Jeff Burnham. Thank you so much. And I want to thank, yes, extra applause. I want to thank Paul Brandt and Nicole Batson, Jeffrey Williams, Wendy Mullen for their help and support around this evening. I'm going to turn this over to the Rhodes Singers. William Skoog, the director of the Rhodes Singers, had emergency retina surgery yesterday. And our wonderful senior music major, Emily Haas, is going to direct the Rhodes Singers tonight. And we're so grateful that they insisted on being here. They're also joined by several alums, and we're very grateful for them tonight, too. Thank you so much.
As Dr. Blankenship said, we do have a giving portion of tonight. If you'll look at the bottom of your program, you'll see a QR code. So if you're comfortable with using QR codes, please use your phone, scan the code. It'll take you directly to the donation link. But if you're not comfortable using your phone to donate, you can raise your hand right now if you prefer to write a check or cash, and we do have volunteers with envelopes who will come to you if you'd like to prefer to donate that way as well. So feel free to raise your hand if you'd like an envelope, and someone will bring that over. But we will move on finally to a video of Dr. Franks from December of 2020. I know I'm excited to watch it along with the rest of you.
want to close by having us all sing together. Is there anyone that does not have one of the song sheets? We can hand you one real quick. Raise your hand if you need a song sheet. Anybody? Everybody have them? We hope you have them. Alex is going to play on the organ. I will make the one comment that this tape that you just saw, the video, was done about 2 weeks before Dr. Franks was diagnosed with this terrible disease that caused her death. She had no idea. She would say, Gerald, I have a pain in my back. I think I've pulled something. I don't know what it is. And immediately after this, you can see there was hardly anybody here. It was right in the heart of when COVID was so bad. We had few people here. We did this. She and Woody both got COVID right after this and were down for 2 weeks. And then she called our house and asked my wife, Jan, said, Jan, are you standing up? She said, I am. She said, you may need to sit down. She had gone to the emergency room, and that very night, late in December, they had diagnosed her and told her that she had stage 4 of cancer, and she had no idea. Count your blessings, count your days, be thankful. We have had a wonderful night. I thank you all for participating. Sandy will never be forgotten. She'll long be remembered. This was a wonderful thing that Carol was the person who pushed us along to get this to happen. Thank you, Carol. Thank all of you. Thank you, Carol. And obviously, we see the results of her work with these wonderful singers and the love for singing. And Carol had thought, it was somebody's idea, I think it was Carol's idea, let's end with us all singing, My Life Flows On, How Can I Keep From Singing? So we will just follow Alex. He'll play on the organ. Let's all stand. We'll end this concert by singing the 4 verses, and I think the 3rd verse is going to be a cappella, so be ready to sing on that. Alex?
My life goes on in endless song.
Thank you so much for being here. Remember to contribute to the fund, and thank you. All we can say is speak to each other, visit, take your time as you leave, drive safely. Thank you.